contacto de manera instantánea. Y la mejor parte es que funciona perfectamente con lo que usted ya tiene, además de ser ideal para usarse con cualquier aplicación de mensajería instantánea o sistema de correo electrónico que usted ya está utilizando. Llámenos hoy al 832-384-9588 para ordenar su videotarjeta de negocios o envíenos un correo a videocar@nowmedia.tv.
Coming up next, Daily Space. With Dr. Pamela Gay and Beth Johnson. Only on Now Media Television.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Are you tired of calling several different moving companies and still wondering if your moving needs will be met with a company that is committed to the satisfaction of their clients? Can you really trust a random moving company you just looked up online? Hi, my name is Daudakan. I am Mr. President with Yo Move Moving and Storage. We are the experts in moving and storage business with over 15 years of moving experience. We know how to safely and easily take you from your current home or office to your new home and eliminate the stress of packing, shipping, delivery, storing, and moving to your new home. Additionally, at Your Move, we make sure our bids are complete with no hidden charges and fully explain every step of the moving process. Our job is to move you with ease and safety. Whether you're moving across the street or across state lines, Your Move will get you there. Give us a call at 281-988-9700.
Do you know people will treat you based on your looks? Are you tired of living a life with dietary restriction? Do you feel guilty every time you eat? Revenge can be sweet, especially if you don't gain weight. Hi, this is Karelis with Clean Meal. I love to eat delicious food and desserts without the guilt. Do you have diabetes? Do you have gluten allergies? Or maybe you are lactose intolerant? Clean Meals bring to your home incredible desserts with the best ingredients: sugar, gluten, and lactose-free, organic, and keto-friendly. Recover that energy that you long for. Fall in love with yourself and eat with no guilt. Clean Meal, delicious and healthy, because you become what you eat.
Hello, I'm Pamela O'Brien, owner and principal designer at Pamela Hope Designs. We're an award-winning full-service interior design firm located in Houston, Texas, with clients nationwide. We specialize in medium-high to high-end residential and commercial design projects that inspire confidence in you. When asked about our design style, we believe our style is your style at its best, while respecting your budget, your preferences, and your lifestyle. Our talented team of designers, artisans, and craftsmen collaborates with you to create positive design experiences with exquisite results. Unveiling exceptional designs is a privilege, and we want to make it a pleasure for all involved. From updating your existing home or office for a fresh new look to creating a custom project from the ground up, everything we do is designed for you.
Hello and welcome to The Daily Space. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay,
And I am your host, Beth Johnson.
and we are here to put science in your brain. Earlier, we reported that China has become the second nation ever to land a mission on Mars. Their rover, Zhurong, has landed in Utopia Planitia. Following in the tradition of tourists everywhere, Zhurong has taken a selfie and photographed its Instagram-worthy surroundings. According to a post in Nature, the exact landing site hasn't yet been imaged by HiRISE, but similar regions show remarkable dunes. With the constantly changing surface, there is the potential for Mars to reveal its past like so many fossils revealed in a changing desert.
We use the techniques we've learned on Earth to understand our world to now understand Mars. But this isn't to say we actually understand Earth. One particularly terrifying event in 1700, for instance, is now getting new attention. On January 26, 1700, an earthquake killed the population of large swaths of Vancouver Island and the surroundings, and also sent a tsunami sweeping across the ocean all the way to Japan, where it was still able to do damage. This was triggered by a slip in the Cascadia fault line. Concern that this fault line could once again trigger an earthquake around magnitude 9 influences building construction in the northwest of the United States and Canada, and is part of the justification for earthquake and tsunami alert systems. These systems, however, assume all the damage was triggered by a single quake. Now, researchers modeling the damage spoken of in oral histories of the First Nations people in that region and marked in the geological record are considering the possibility that this event wasn't just one horrifying earthquake, but may actually have been a series of strong earthquakes over several days and years. According to study author Diego Melgar, the tradition has been only a megaquake explains everything, and what I found is that's not true. A megaquake still can explain everything, but so can a sequence of events. This is decidedly not good news. While a single massive magnitude 9 or so earthquake is horrifying, a series of magnitude 8 earthquakes would continue to damage and re-damage the region, making rebuilding efforts perhaps feel futile during the decade of devastation. To understand which of these two scenarios, a megaquake or a series of massive quakes, matches reality, detailed study of the coastal rocks are needed. It is well understood that the coastline changed as a result of the quake or quakes, with the coastline subsiding or dropping as the fault line shifted. If the shift occurred all at once, the record of small organisms living on the rocks will show a sudden change along the length of the coast, while a series of quakes and piecemeal subsidence would cause the organisms on the rocks to change over time. Either way, I'm fascinated, and Pamela continues to refuse to move to Vancouver.
I do admit to being really worried about that fault line. When the Cascadia Fault slipped, ocean water was sloshed into the mountains, where it created saltwater marshes and killed trees. While I love the science of this, I choose to live where there are tornadoes instead of tsunami. We all have our limits. Maybe. I mean, physics doesn't always seem to have limits to how large or small some phenomena can be. Pulsars, to switch topics wildly. It turns out that these tiny dead stars can spin at all manner of speeds, and using the fairly new and truly giant Fast Radio Telescope in China, scientists are starting to document these extremes. In a new paper in Astronomy and Astrophysics, researchers released the first findings of the galactic plane pulsar snapshot. With 5% of the survey complete, they've already found 201 pulsars, including some of the lowest energy pulsars so far detected. They've also found 16 binary systems. While pulsars are interesting for their own qualities, they are more massive than the sun, the diameter of Manhattan, and can spin thousands of times a second. Pulsars are weird enough on their own to be worth studying. But they are also a useful tool for looking at the properties of our galaxy. As their pulses travel through space, they are dispersed by the particles scattered about. Pulsar pulses are particularly sensitive to the distribution of rogue electrons. These early results seem to indicate that there are a lot more electrons than previously understood floating between the stars. Over time, as this survey grows, we'll be able to map out this distribution and understand how it affects our view of the universe beyond. After the break, we'll look at how we map our world and how it is sometimes as hard as mapping the universe.
As much as we struggle to understand the depths of outer space, we are still struggling to map our own planet. Getting to the seafloor requires us to build vessels capable of surviving extreme pressure, coldness, and making their measurements in utter darkness. In some ways, designing for the vacuum of space is far easier, actually. And if a spacecraft springs a leak, it can probably be repaired with a space version of duct tape. That doesn't work with high pressure water. This is where we find, working parallel to space explorers, a company of aquanauts who work to define what lies beneath the seas. In a new study answering one simple question, where are the deepest points in each ocean? This proved far more difficult than thought. The Five Deeps expedition has published new depth data in the Geoscience Data Journal and documented that while the 10,924 meter deep Mariana Trench remains the deepest point in all the oceans, other deep spots aren't quite where we expected. For instance, we'd thought there was a particularly deep trench off the coast of Java, and there is. It just happens that the lowest section of the trench is nearly 400 kilometers away from where we'd thought. Ingloriously named Unnamed Deep, and we thought astronomers were bad, this trench descends to 7,187 meters. In the Southern Ocean, along the trench spanning from South America toward Antarctica, there is also a newly discovered spot named Factorian Deep that lies at 7,432 meters down. This is a reminder that the oceans are far more vast than the land. Mount Everest reaches up to only 8,849 meters, and the deepest parts of the ocean are more than 10,000 meters down. Now, instead of asking, why do we climb? We need to start asking, why do we descend?
Understanding the history of our world requires researchers of all disciplines to work together to try and build as true an account of the past as we can. Humans are notorious for telling the stories they want to be true. We also can sometimes lose information in the passing of stories from generation to generation. We understand the Cascadia Fault in part thanks to the histories of the First Nations people and the efforts of researchers to record these stories before they are lost. This is a relatively straightforward process where geology, oral history, and archaeology in both the Cascades and Japan all tell the same story of an earthquake and a massive tsunami. Other stories are harder to sort and feel easier to dismiss. For instance, in the 6th century, there was a sudden pattern of water miracles recorded in Italian texts, such as dialogues on the miracles of the Italian fathers. While miracles aren't where one would normally go looking for evidence of environmental change, in this case, these stories pointed to a sudden societal interest in water-related issues. Working together, historians and geologists were able to determine there was a temporary and dramatic change in rainfall that led to myriad water-related disasters of varying size. To understand this, you have to look at things from a political perspective. If you are in a place where the people are afraid of flooding rivers and other water-related crises, you want them to believe their government can protect them. Today, this would lead to politicians discussing plans to build new levees and drainage systems. In the 6th century, it instead meant politicians discussing how powerful individuals had performed water-related miracles to save the lives of communities. Just as we can't always trust politicians to follow through and build levees, we also can't trust historical leaders to have always spoken of true miracles. There may have been real lives saved in some instances, but all we know for fact is the uptick in reported miracles reflected a region in crisis as too much rain led to environmental damage. So scientists, it turns out, we need to know history to understand our Earth, and historians, you need to know science to contextualize our history. After the break, we'll be back to discuss weird and unexpected chemistry that tells the history of our solar system. It's not just the history of our own planet that we continue to try and understand. It's the history of our solar system. And one of the ways we try to understand our solar system is by studying asteroids and comets, those smaller bodies that formed in the very young solar system about 4.6 billion years ago. In a new study published in Nature, scientists have taken a look at the atmospheres of about 20 comets to try and understand these icy bodies. Yes, comets have atmospheres. In fact, a separate team studying interstellar comet 2I Borisov found nickel vapor in its atmosphere, and this team found both iron and nickel vapor in the atmospheres of their 20 comets. These results were surprising all around because while the metals are expected in the interiors of the comets, they weren't expected in the atmospheres. Heavy metals don't become gaseous at low temperatures. Even more strange, the two metals were found in equal amounts in these atmospheres when normally there is 10 times more iron than nickel. So why was there iron and nickel vapor in the atmospheres of comets some 480 million kilometers away from the sun? That's the new question being asked. Co-author Emmanuel Jayan notes, comets formed around 4.6 billion years ago in the very young solar system and haven't changed since that time. In that sense, they're like fossils for astronomers. These results mean we still don't completely understand our early solar system, but co-author Damien Houtzemakers explains, we came to the conclusion iron and nickel might come from a special kind of material on the surface of the comet nucleus, sublimating at a rather low temperature and releasing iron and nickel in about the same proportions. More work still needs to be done, and we'll update you as we learn more.
If you want to get even heavier elements, like gold, uranium, and plutonium, you need a really violent event to happen, like two neutron stars merging. Or so we thought. Now, though, a new study published in Science examines the possibility that it merely takes a supernova to produce such elements. Maybe. The story starts with the discovery of an extraterrestrial isotope here on Earth in the ocean crust, plutonium-244. This isotope was found alongside another radioactive one, iron-60. Both of these isotopes are evidence of something violent happening close-ish to our solar system millions of years ago. And then the interstellar gas and dust that contained all these radioactive elements lingered and found its way to Earth. We know they weren't part of the material that formed our solar system because these elements would have completely decayed in the past 4 billion years. So why do these scientists think that a simple supernova, if a supernova could ever be thought of as simple, created the plutonium-244? Because it was found alongside that iron isotope. We know that iron-60 is formed in supernovae, and for the plutonium to be coexisting in the crust, they may have formed together in a supernova that happened near Earth. Yikes. Lead author Anton Wallner notes, however, our data could be the first evidence that supernovae do indeed produce plutonium-244, or perhaps it was already in the interstellar medium before the supernova went off, and it was pushed across the solar system together with the supernova ejecta. It's an interesting line of research, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Either way, it continues to come back to the fact that, as Carl Sagan said, we are all made of star stuff. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about the upcoming total lunar eclipse in our weekly What's Up segment. Stay tuned. When we look at the night sky, we are seeing the history of all that has been and the conditions that will define all that will be. You just need to know where to look. One of my favorite pieces of science learned as a child is that a killer asteroid killed the dinosaurs while spreading a layer of iridium over the planet and creating weird features, cenotes, in the Yucatan Peninsula that allowed civilizations to thrive geologic epochs later. On any given night, you can go out and easily photograph asteroids moving across the sky if you just have a way to track your camera or a telescope with a camera. Tracking means your camera changes its position to move with the stars across the sky. Since asteroids move faster, you can see them as jumping dots moving between images in a series. The best place to look for these wandering stars is along that band across the sky called the ecliptic. This band is both where the sun can be seen and where the planets move in their orbit, and it represents the disk of our pretty flat solar system. This line is making itself easy to find right now. Looking west at dusk, you can see the line of Venus, Mercury, and Mars, with the moon rising fairly high in the sky. As the night progresses, the worlds will sink, and to the east, Saturn and Jupiter will rise, rising up to define the eastern path of this band. Software like Sky Safari can help you identify these worlds. It uses your phone's sensors to tell you what is in the sky behind your device as you look around. Go out, look up, look at our solar system, and know that you now know roughly what part of the sky hides a potential dinosaur-killing rock. All of that geometry leads to a pair of special events that occur during what we call eclipse season. Season is a bit of a misnomer. It's not a season like spring or summer. It's a period of time when we get a pair of eclipses, one lunar and one solar eclipse. Now, these eclipses aren't always or even usually total eclipses. They don't block out the moon or sun completely every time, and every pair of events is different. But this next pair happens to have a total lunar eclipse, which makes it exciting. This total lunar eclipse will happen on May 26th, and it will be a short one. Totality, that period when the moon is completely covered by the Earth's shadow, will last just over 14 minutes. We get a bit of a bonus here because it's also the closest full moon of 2021, making it a supermoon. According to Earth Sky, this total lunar eclipse is visible from Western North America, Southern and far Western South America, the Pacific Ocean, New Zealand, Australia, and Southeast Asia. From the Americas, you'll want to be up early in the morning before sunrise. From the Eastern Hemisphere, you'll want to go out at sunset. The moon will either be setting or rising respectively, and then you can watch it move into and out of Earth's shadow, turning red during totality. Unlike a solar eclipse, you don't need any special gear to watch a lunar eclipse, so get out and take some pictures. We'll have all the exact times and charts on our website at dailyspace.org. But what about if you're not in a region that will see the total eclipse? Well, the good news is that if you're in the rest of the Americas or the eastern half of Asia, you'll get a partial umbral eclipse where Earth's shadow will take a bite out of the moon. Sorry, Africa and Europe, the geometry doesn't work out for you this time. You will, however, get the opportunity to view next month's annular solar eclipse on June 10th. We'll talk more about that event when we get closer. For now, though, this has been the Daily Space. You can find more information on all our stories, including images, at dailyspace.org. As always, we're here thanks to the donations of people like you. If you like our content, please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/CosmoQuestX.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
Hello and welcome to The Daily Space. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Gay.
And I am your host, Beth Johnson.
And we are here to put science in your brain. From day to day and year to year, our sun changes in ways that are often missed to occupants here on Earth. People living in the far north, like Alaska, or the extreme south, like Patagonia, may see regular solar aurora. But unless you're paying a lot of attention, you may not notice that those natural light shows have an 11-year cycle. Our sun's magnetic field isn't as stable as Earth's, and over the course of 11 years, it will go from having its magnetic field align with Earth to one that is not. It's aligned the opposite way. When the sun's magnetic field is most confused mid-cycle, we see more solar activity like flares and coronal mass ejections. In a new paper in solar physics, researchers led by Matthew Owens looked at how the orientation affects the severity of this activity, the severity as experienced here at Earth and on our nearby moon. And by severity, I also mean like how dangerous it is to spacecraft and people outside the Earth's magnetic field. That's another way of saying on the moon. In odd-numbered cycles. The sun's field starts out in alignment, and as it cycles in even years, it starts flipped relative to our magnetic field. The team found that when the sun's field is misaligned with the Earth, solar activity has a more severe impact. Right now, we're in an odd-numbered cycle, cycle 25, which started in 2019. And we will hit solar max when the sun is most chaotic around 2025. And as the sun's magnetic field settles out to be oppositely aligned to the Earth's magnetic field, we're going to go through a period in the late 2020s when the sun's activity will be more dangerous. While the science is cool on its own, it has one unfortunate real-world side effect. As our ability to land people on the moon ramps up at the end of the 2020s, the sun's potential to kill people will also be ramping up. During the Apollo program, a major solar eruption in 1972 randomly occurred between Apollo 16 and 17. This was luck that protected the astronauts. Now we need to plan how to handle what to do if we're not so lucky next time.
A lot of science requires a combo of luck and really hard work. In this next story, researchers use systematic measurements of meteors to identify the paths of long-period comets. Using 9 camera sets scattered around the world, they watched for groups of objects that appeared to radiate from a single point on the sky. That point represented where the Earth's atmosphere intersected with the debris of a comet or active asteroid that passed through our solar system in the past. With the longest period comets, objects that circle every 4,000 years or so, the debris trails are super narrow. And using their 9 camera sets, this team has now identified 9 new meteor showers with high certainty and an additional 6 possible debris trails. Building those 9 camera sets and analyzing their data is where the hard work came into play. And having those showers occur when there was a cloud-free night sky overhead for some of those camera sets, that's where the luck comes in. We can't wait to see what this team finds as they continue to look up and statistically analyze those glorious streaks we all can see with our eyes.
Not everyone experiences this kind of luck. The Beresheet mission to the moon and its crew of tiny tardigrades landed a bit violently with a velocity of a few hundred meters per second. Okay, it crashed. Folks, a spacecraft with a crew of tardigrades crashed onto the moon. Tardigrades, tiny extremophiles, often seen in microscope imagery of pond water, are really hard to kill. And folks, including me, have wondered if tardigrades might have survived this impact. One of these curious folks was PhD student Alessandra Tarpas, who turned his curiosity into research, and I kid you not, placed well-fed tardigrades into hollow nylon bullets and fired them into sand several meters away at increasing bullet velocities. They found that while tardigrades could survive the bullet impacting at 900 meters per second, sudden jolts of just 1.14 gigapascals would kill the tardigrades. This means that had they been able to decelerate through the lunar regolith, they would have survived. But that moment when the spacecraft hit and crumpled, well, the shocks from that would have killed the critters. While I'm sad there probably aren't a generation of tardigrades ready to spring to life on the moon, this is probably for the best. We really don't want to contaminate everything in the solar system with Earth life.
Folks, we try really hard to tell a story with all our news items, but sometimes things just don't fit together. From solar system events and tardigrades, we are now going to wildly jump to extragalactic astronomy. Roughly 1,000 wildly powerful bursts of radio energy have been detected, and just 15 of them have been linked to a galaxy, spiral galaxies, in fact. The fast radio bursts, which last seconds or even fractions of a second, aren't associated with the bright star-forming regions of galaxies, where stars are young. This supports the theory that fast radio bursts come from old dead stars, like neutron stars with massive magnetic fields called magnetars. According to team member Wenfei Feng, we don't know what causes fast radio bursts, so it's really important to use context when we have it. In this case, the context rules out massive young stars. Fong goes on to add, massive stars go through stellar evolution and become neutron stars, some of which can be strongly magnetized, leading to flares and magnetic processes on their surfaces, which can emit radio light. Our study fits in with that picture. After the break, we're going to look at the formation of spiral galaxies. Stay tuned.
Before you can get fast radio bursts, you need to build a galaxy. We try to understand how that occurs from 2 different directions, by observing our galaxy and by looking for galaxies forming in the early universe. From our position inside the Milky Way, we can study our system's individual stars to get a sense of the generations and their chemical genetics. Stars generally form in clusters, with all the stars in the cluster having the same chemical composition. Particularly small galaxies may even form all their stars in a single burst. Where the tiny galaxy, in this case, is just a large star cluster. Most larger galaxies form through the merger of smaller systems, and our own Milky Way is included in that most. as projects like the Sloan Digital Sky Survey and the Gaia mission have shown over and over as they measure colors and positions of stars. There are identifiable streams of the same composition, the same age, stars that came together and then became part of our Milky Way when their small home galaxy merged into our galaxy. Remarkably, though, for as many streams of colliding objects as we find, it still looks like most of our galaxy was already in place 10 billion years ago, with what we see only merging in later. The earliest major merger to be identified was the collision of what is being called the Gaia Sausage Galaxy. That name? I'm not going to comment on that name. Anyways, the Gaia spacecraft discovered a family of stars that are all the same composition and that are orbiting at a weird angle to the rest of the disk of the Milky Way. Those stars were slightly younger than the Milky Way's native stars. This means the bulk of our stars are older, and our disk was mostly formed before the Milky Way and the Sausage Galaxies collided, and even before the Sausage Galaxy was made. Our galaxy, put simply, is really old and was already pretty big early in the history of the universe. One of the major rules of science is we start from the belief that we don't occupy a special place in the universe. This means that whatever we see shouldn't be too different from what we'd see from somewhere else. And whatever got us here should have happened elsewhere. Using the Atacama Large Millimeter Array, researchers were able to find galaxies showing vague spiral structures more than 12 billion years ago. These earliest systems were a little weird, were compact, and their structure is most likely driven by interactions with invisible companions too small to see with current telescopes. How the galaxies evolved these weird early systems and became the universe we see today isn't well understood. But it looks like we can thank galaxy interactions both for forming spiral structure and building up large galaxies over time. While ALMA creates shockingly good images, the JWST was actually designed to tell us how galaxies formed. It looks like JWST's launch is going to be delayed again, this time due to the rocket. So the answers on how galaxies evolved from what ALMA sees to what we see locally, we're just going to have to wait a bit longer. For now, we're going to ask you to wait, but not that long, while we go to break. When we come back, we're going to look at zombie fires and the march of this year's hurricanes. Stay tuned.
We don't need the JWST to learn more about Earth, so that's something. We have our own Earth observation satellites from different agencies and countries, all trying to understand how our planet is changing and how it might continue to change. And sometimes we read a story that has cool science, but terrifying consequences. This next phenomenon even has a terrifying name: zombie fires. We've all seen on the news, and frankly, I've experienced it here in California, that our annual fire season is getting worse with the hotter, drier conditions. Winds blow, flames spark, and I'm wearing a different kind of mask to keep the ash and particulates out of my lungs. It's not been fun. And it could get worse in regions like Alaska. Sometimes fires can hibernate underground. They get knocked down by firefighters or weather, then the area gets buried under snow, and the fire continues smoldering over the winter. It survives by consuming the carbon-rich peat and boreal soil and creeping slowly underground. Then when the spring thaws come, the fire reemerges near the previous fire location and starts back up before the usual fire season. Firefighters suspected this was happening, and now scientists checking out satellite images of burned regions found the proof. Fortunately, zombie fires are rare and only account for 0.8% of the total area burned in Alaska and northern Canada for the 7 years examined. The issue is that when warmer summers have occurred, the zombie fires were more likely because the fires were overwintering even deeper underground. And now, hotter summers are the rule and not the exception. So this team of scientists expect the percentage of zombie fires will increase. Their work can be found in Nature. And speaking of increases, it looks like this year will be another above normal year for hurricane season. But it won't be as bad as last year, so that's a good thing, right? NOAA released its outlook for this year's Atlantic hurricane season, and they're predicting 13 to 20 named tropical storms. We typically have 14. Additionally, the number of major hurricanes is likely to be up this season, with 3 to 5 predicted. Normally, we have 3. So there is a chance that the total season could be close to normal, but it's on the low end of the predictions. I should note that climate change has so far not been found to be responsible for the increase in the number of hurricanes. However, there is evidence that the increasing intensity of the storms is a result of that climate change. There's a particular climate fluctuation that has been in a warm phase since 1995. Add in the possibility of warmer water in the Pacific, and we could be in for quite the hurricane season. As a reminder, last year broke records for the number of named storms. There were 30, which means the naming scheme in the Atlantic had to use the Greek alphabet. I only remember seeing that happen one other time, and that was a hurricane season that went into the next year. Typically, the season runs from June to November. December and January named storms are rare. So to all our followers and fans in the region of the Southeast United States, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean, please be prepared. Get your disaster plans in place, check on your batteries, have a plan to evacuate and ways to secure your home. We want you all to be safe over the coming months. I'll be back in a moment with a science review of Godzilla vs. Kong and a breakdown of the Hollow Earth hypothesis. A few weeks ago, my son begged me to go to the movies in an actual theater with actual movie popcorn. And because that movie was a temptation and I'm all vaccinated, I agreed. And I let him choose the movie. He chose Godzilla vs. Kong, which is, I admit, not my usual fare. I do love a good action movie, and I have nothing against kaiju flicks. Pacific Rim is a masterpiece, in my opinion. But I haven't seen a Godzilla movie since the 1990s one with Matthew Broderick. I took my father to that one, and he's a huge Godzilla fan. And while it was not good, at least it was silly, and a good time was had. So I expected about the same for this movie. Now, for the most part, I enjoyed the film. Look, it's Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things being her most sassy as a conspiracy theorist trying to find out what is going on. That alone was worth the price of admission. Add in some good writing and great special effects, and overall, it's perfect for hanging with your kid and watching monsters fight. But then there was the science, and oh, I tried to get past this part, y'all. I tried. Except that my eyes rolled back in my head so hard that I hurt myself. My son wanted to know what was wrong, so I whispered back 2 words. Hollow Earth. And now I will warn you that there are spoilers. One of the major plot points of this film is that they are trying to return Kong to the homeland of the Titans, and there's a rather disgraced scientist who believes that homeland is inside the Earth. There's a whole gravitational field issue to deal with. The bad guys have the vehicle to survive it, yada, yada, yada. And eventually we find our way there. Kong, of course, being from there, just jumps right in and is fine. Everyone else has to deal with the gravitational distortion, and I was marginally okay with this idea. Even the concept of Hollow Earth as a science fiction trope doesn't really bother me that much. It's been done for centuries, starting with Ludwig Holberg's novel Neil Kim's Underground Travels in 1741, through Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth in 1864, to modern versions like the video game Gears of War and the Hollow World campaign in Dungeons and Dragons. So why was I bothered by this version? The visuals were stunning. Gravity was a bit all over the place, literally. But it's in this subterranean prehistoric world. And there is green vegetation everywhere. Everywhere. There is no light source, but for one volcano, no sun, nothing that should be giving plants a way to do photosynthesis. And no, I cannot. I tried. I did. Sadly, that is what broke my suspension of disbelief. Now, Hollow Earth was once a popular hypothesis. It was proven incorrect back in 1774 by the Schehallien experiment, which was the follow-up to an earlier expedition. These two separate science teams climbed mountains and performed vertical deflection experiments to understand changes in gravitational attraction. Basically, you hang a pendulum and measure the angle of the plumb bob as it is pulled by the gravity of a large body, like a mountain. By finding the pull on opposite sides, you can work your way to finding the mean density of the Earth. And they showed from all these calculations that Earth is not hollow. Still, the trope persists, but I guess it's not one for me. I still think the movie is worth a watch, if that's your thing. For now, though, this has been The Daily Space.
You can find more information on all our stories, including the Hollow Earth stories. You can find it all at dailyspace.org. As always, we're here thanks to the donations of people like you. If you like our content, please consider joining our Patreon community at patreon.com/CosmoQuestX.
Having a spotless house is critical for your quality of living. Hi, this is Kevin Thury with WashPros.us. At WashPros, we are locally owned and operated, servicing Central Houston, Austin, and Dallas. We are fully insured. We offer annual, semi-annual, and quarterly cleanings. We recognize that needs change and Mother Nature keeps us on our toes. Just know we are happy to help. We use eco-friendly products and a purified water cleaning system for a spotless shine. We service HOAs, the property managers, investment firms, and you, the homeowner. If you're putting your house on the market or have an annual maintenance cleaning schedule, or you are interested in holiday lighting, we are your one-stop shop for all of your exterior cleaning and holiday lighting needs. Call me today for your free on-site quote and let WashPros.us be your clean escape.
There's nothing better than investing in your health. That's why when it comes to choosing health insurance, it's important to get the right coverage for you and your family. Hi, I'm Claudia Escalera, your go-to health insurance agent. I help small business owners, families, and self-employed individuals save money on their health insurance. Shopping for insurance can be confusing. With so many options, it's hard to know if you're getting the right plan for your situation. I simplify the process and answer all your health insurance questions. I compare policies and prices so you know you're getting the best possible deal. We can even look at supplemental vision or dental plans to see which ones might save you money. Every step of the way, I am dedicated to you and your family. I listen to your needs and help guide you to the right solutions. I know together we'll find a way to maximize your coverage and minimize your out-of-pocket expenses. Protect your health and start saving money on your insurance today. Call me at 832-466-5795 to find out how.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Saunders, owner of Genuine Automotive and Diesel. When your car needs repair, trust our skilled technicians at Genuine Automotive and Diesel to get you safely back on the road. It is our mission not only to fix your vehicle, but help provide honest expert advice so you can make the most informed decision about your automotive repair. Whenever you need routine maintenance, electrical service, an alignment, or transmission work, we're here for you. Our technicians bring years of experience and extensive training to give you the highest quality care and service. We listen carefully to all our customers' needs so we can meet your repair goals and budget. At Genuine Automotive and Diesel, customer loyalty loyalty and trust is our top priority. That's why we work hard every day to create an exceptional experience that will bring you back. So the next time you've got car trouble, give us a call at 512-410-2599 or stop in and see us in our North Austin location.
You've probably seen a lot about CBD on TV, in ads, emails, and even popping up around your towns. But do you ever wonder if it really helps, or is it just hype? I'm here to tell you that it works. And I'm standing here today because of this medicinal plant. I've helped thousands of Americans just like you by getting their health back and feeling great. I'm Marlise, founder of Indie Hemp Company. I'm a certified medical cannabis advisor, and I guide users and practitioners all over the country on how and why CBD works. We are designed to give you the private, personal guidance you need to see the results that so many people have been raving about. Because CBD isn't a one-dose-fits-all. Proper use and product recommendations are keys to success. And we only use the very best USDA certified organic products grown right here in the United States. So maybe it's better sleep, less stress, that pesky back pain or inflammation. Maybe it's focus, memory, or you're looking to find something natural where traditional medicine isn't helping. It's safe for all ages, pets, and yes, it's legal in every state. Start living your best life today with the benefits of a pure product and the advisement of an expert. Contact us today.
Having a smart and healthier lifestyle is now possible. Hi, this is Eddie Meinhardt with IncrediHome Solutions. We are proud distributors of Royal Prestige, the most advanced cookware in the market. Designed with the highest quality standards, Royal Prestige is the only in the market incorporating surgical-grade stainless steel, getting the most nutrients out of your food while helping you cook healthier. They look beautiful in your kitchen, and they are built to last for a lifetime, featuring an amazing 15-year warranty and complimentary yearly service at no cost for our customers. We at IncrediHome have over 15 years of experience providing smart home and healthy living solutions, with a strong commitment to personalized service and great customer satisfaction, offering customized solutions and financing plans to each client. Allow us to help you improve your lifestyle with our smart and healthy living products. Call us today for an in-home demonstration or visit our showroom in Katy for an extraordinary experience. IncrediHome Solutions, making your life easier, your home smarter, and your loved ones healthier.
It all started with a vision to offer a client-driven experience with diligent attention to detail. As we celebrate our 12th anniversary here at YoMove, I understand that the only way we can enjoy success is through the generosity of others. Without our customers, our referral partners, and YoMove team, we couldn't have accomplished this amazing growth and had so many opportunities to make a lasting impact on our community. We are extremely proud of our management, our crews, and many friends we've met along the way. We look forward to providing our customers with superior service for many years to come. We are thrilled to celebrate 12 years in business here at YoMove.
Technology is one of the most critical aspects of business operations. That's why you need the right technology partner to provide you with the peace of mind of having reliable, efficient IT systems and adequate data protection for your business. At CMIT Solutions of Northwest Houston Suburbs, we provide managed, tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, and manage and protect your IT and data assets. We take care of your IT so that you don't have to worry about it. With our unique local and remote services model, we not only service our local Houston and Northwest Houston suburbs, but also locations all over the U.S. with the help of the CMIT network, the nation's #1 trusted network of more than 240 CMIT Solutions offices. We are a full-service IT firm proactively fixing potential mishaps before they occur, promptly taking care of your IT frustrations so that you can focus on your core work that enables your growth of your business. Call me today at 281-374-0006 to schedule a consultation or to solve any unique IT needs.
Your spine gives your body structure and support. It allows you to bend and move freely, and more importantly, it protects your spinal cord. Your spinal cord is a column of nerves that connect your brain with the rest of the body, allowing you to control your movements. But when your spine gets misaligned due to slips and falls, car accidents, sports injuries, or years of repetitive wear and tear on the body caused by everyday activities, it can cause painful conditions. Stop living in pain. At Lacombe Chiropractic, we can help your back pain, pinched nerves, sore neck, bulging or herniated disc, headaches, or posture problems. We offer chiropractic adjustments, cold laser, decompression, and therapeutic massage. We can even help you reach your weight loss goals by offering the Ideal Weight Loss Program in our office. Often all it takes is just a few treatments for our patients to experience pain relief and better functioning. We'll find the cause and correct it so you can live a better life. If you're worried about those daily aches and pains getting worse or really don't know what to do or who to call, don't wait any longer. Call Lacombe Chiropractic now at 512-645-0420 so you can improve your health and live a better life.
Financiera y económica crítica para el empresario de los Estados Unidos. Bitácora de negocios, soy Mario Maldonado y los espero de lunes a viernes de 6 a 7 de la mañana, solo por NowMedia Televisión, una coproducción del Heraldo Media Group.
It all started with a vision to offer a client-driven experience with diligent attention to detail. As we celebrate our 12th anniversary here at Your Move, I understand that the only way we can enjoy success is through the generosity of others. Without our customers, our referral partners, and Your Move team, we couldn't have accomplished this amazing growth and had so many opportunities to make a lasting impact on our community. We are extremely proud of our management, our crews, and many friends we've met along the way. We look forward to providing our customers with superior service for many years to come. We are thrilled to celebrate 12 years in business here at Your Move.
Veraz y oportuno llega a los Estados Unidos. Zona de noticias, sábados y domingos de 2 a 4 de la tarde con Manuel Zamacona, solo por NowMedia Televisión, en una coproducción con Heraldo Media Group.